Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming this morning. Thank you so much to our friends for coming to this wonderful event and honoring our great town with this wonderful award, your Presidential Award. Much appreciated. It's a beautiful day for this. And as we look out on this beautiful day and what we have achieved in our own country, we welcome our brothers and our sisters from the Republic of Korea. And we pray deep into our heart that someday there will be absolute peace between the two countries of Korea. We might pray for unification, but that does not look too bright right now. But at least there should be peace so that your country may live in the peace and enjoy your freedoms as we do here in this country. We are losing our veterans every day from the Korean War, and we unfortunately are losing our veterans every single day. Some 20 American veterans commit suicide in our country. War has a scar that goes on for a long time, and the wounds of war do not heal easily. So we pray in a special way that we may see no more wars in our world. And we celebrate the work and the effort and the sacrifice of all the veterans who are here with us today. We thank you for what you did and what we continue to do for one another in a world working for peace. So we are honored to have you with us, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for this great honor.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's really a beautiful day, and I'm very much honored to visit here again. This is my second time. 2 years ago, in 2018, in July, I was invited to participate in this ceremony honoring the Korean War veterans from this area. Honorable President Paul Hebert of Barnstable Town Council and commander of Korean War Veterans Association Cape and Islands Chapter, and Korean War veterans and families, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is really a great pleasure and honor to visit this beautiful Veterans Memorial Park, Korean War Memorial, to meet you and to present the Presidential Citation to the Town of Barnstable on behalf of my President of the Republic of Korea. Let me first thank the Town of Barnstable and the Korean War Veterans Association for arranging this meaningful ceremony in the midst of the difficult situation of COVID-19. Thank you all for coming to this ceremony. And thank you for your warm welcome. I'd like to also convey my warmest greetings to the people of Barnstable. This year marks the 70th anniversary of the outbreak of the Korean War. 70 years ago, in 1950, in June, the Korean War broke out. Even amid the COVID-19 pandemic, Korean government has hosted a range of occasions to recognize and honor the Korean War veterans, actually across the world, including United States, and led by United States, the 16 countries across the world. They joined the United Nations command to fight against the aggression from North and to safeguard the freedom and peace on the Korean Peninsula. As part of these efforts, an honorable presidential citation is awarded to the Town of Barnstable to recognize its outstanding endeavors to remember Korean War veterans from this region by building this Korean War Veterans Memorial, among other things, and its excellent cooperation with the Korean War Veterans Association Cape and Islands Chapter for the immaculate management of the memorial and numerous recognition ceremonies and events. By doing so, the Town of Barnstable greatly contributed to the public education of the Korean War, the importance of freedom and peace, and to remembering those war heroes. This beautiful Hello Memorial stands as a symbol of a strong alliance between the Republic of Korea and the United States. On behalf of the Korean government and the Korean people, both in Korea and in America, and on behalf of myself, I have a great honor to convey our deepest gratitude to the Town of Barnstable and its people, and more than anything else, to the war heroes this memorial stands for. Ladies and gentlemen, over the past 7 decades, thanks to your help and thanks to your unrivaled service and sacrifice, the Korean people were able to achieve a tremendous, miraculous transformations, as you know. The Republic of Korea has changed from the total ruins of war to a leading economy, the 10th largest economy in the world, and to a vibrant democracy, to a dynamic culture, contributing to the world peace, prosperity, and cooperation. Over the past 7 decades, Korea has turned itself from an aid recipient country to a donor country, which is the one and the only case in the world history since the end of World War II. Even in the global fight against the COVID-19 pandemic, Korea has been showing an impressive, innovative leadership. I am sure the American people, let alone the Korean War veterans and their families, must be very proud of what you helped to achieve. Recently this year, as a small token of our deep gratitude, we sent 500,000 face masks to help the American Korean War veterans and their families to fight the new coronavirus. The Korean people wholeheartedly supported this. This alone clearly shows how reflects our people's profound gratitude and the strong solidarity with you. The strong solidarity and the blood-forged ties have served as a solid foundation of the great alliance between our two countries. The alliance has served as a cornerstone and linchpin of the security and stability of the Northeast Asia, as well as of the Korean Peninsula. The Korean War is never a forgotten war. It shouldn't be a forgotten victory either. The lesson of war and the importance of peace, our firm resolution to defend freedom, should be taught to our children, generation to generation to come. The Korean War is still a living history. It is sobering when we are reminded that we are still technically and legally still at war with the longest armistice agreement in history. So a more enduring and permanent peace, a more fundamental solution should be brought to the Korean Peninsula and to the Korean people. The current armistice regime, which was actually regarded as a temporary in nature, should be addressed anyhow and should be replaced with the ultimate peace regime and peace treaty, which guarantees the freedom and peace to the people on both sides of Korea, and which brings the lasting peace and prosperity to the region as well. That would be a final victory to Korean and American people. Toward that end, our two allies are working closely together. I believe that would be a genuine payback to you, to the honorable service and noble sacrifice of the Korean War veterans. Dear Korean War veterans and families, let me conclude my remarks by saying thank you. Thank you so much to the people of Barnstable, town government, and the Korean War Veterans Association Cape and Islands Chapter for what you have done and for what you are doing. I sincerely wish all the Korean War veterans and people of Barnstable continuing good health and happiness. May God bless Barnstable and may God bless you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Consul General Kim. Council President Hebert, Deputy Consul General Lee, and Council Vice President Rap Grassetti. Other distinguished guests from the town of Barnstable, the Korean Consulate, and the Mass Military Foundation support group. Ladies and gentlemen, last fall, Cape and Islands Chapter of Korean War Veterans Association, presumably like all New England chapters, was asked by the Korean Consulate in Boston to nominate an individual, an organization, or a community for an award to be made by the Republic of Korea for meritorious support of Korean War veterans. We pondered that request and concluded we would nominate the town of Barnstable because of the critical support for Korean War veterans on Cape Cod rendered by the town in giving us this choice piece of waterfront real estate for the location of our monument and for doubling the value of a fund in its custody for care of the monument when our chapter can no longer undertake it. That fund originated with a $25,000 donation in 2000 from the Barnstable County, for which we are extremely grateful. The statute is based on a picture of infantry rifleman John Allen of Frackville, Pennsylvania, taken in Korea by Donald Duquette of Centerville, a combat photographer with the 25th Infantry Division. and our first commander. The sculptor was Robert Schur of Skylight Studios, Woburn, who had just been hired to restore the famous St. Gordon statue of 54th Regiment, Massachusetts, volunteer, all-black enlisted men marching in Boston on their way to Civil War action. The monument was dedicated on June 25th, 2000, the 50th anniversary of North Korea's invasion of South Korea. This past June 25th, therefore, was the 70th anniversary of the war's beginning and the 20th year in the life of our statue. Absent the pandemic, we would have held a ceremony here on that date to commemorate both events, and Consul General Kim had agreed to be our honored guest speaker, as he graciously has done in the past. More important than the park's setting is its proximity to the JFK Memorial, where tour buses bring thousands of visitors from all across the U.S. and abroad each year, many of whom walk over to our memorial. They would not know it exists were it situated elsewhere in town. Many have stories to tell about relatives or friends who served in the military during the Korean War. Some buy bricks for the walkway in remembrance of them, and funds go to maintaining the memorial. In conclusion, we are very fortunate to have the Korean War Veterans Memorial here in Veterans Park, and are delighted to witness the town of Barnstable being recognized by this award. Furthermore, this award represents a continuing expression of gratitude by the Republic of Korea for American and United Nations veterans who helped preserve its national independence. Another example was the 500,000 medical face masks shipped to the U.S. for distribution to U.S. veterans last spring. Our chapter received so many that we were able to donate 800 to the Hyannis VA Clinic for veterans. Thank you, Consul General Kim, and congratulations, President Hebert of Town of Barnstable.
From the President of the Republic of Korea. Citation in recognition and appreciation for its outstanding contributions to freedom and democracy of the Republic of Korea, I hereby present Presidential Citation to the Town of Barnstable, Commonwealth of Massachusetts, United States of America, July 27, 2020, Moon Jae-in, President of the Republic of Korea.
Congratulations.
Thank you
Thank
very,
you
very
so
much.
much. Thank you very much.
Very, very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And